post-apocalyptic worlds built with Unreal Engine 5 are set to showcase striking detail and large, desolate landscapes. These upcoming titles focus on harsh environments, survival systems, and lifelike visual technology. Let's get right in. Resonant Q is a third-person cosmic horror survival action game for solo or 3-player co-op set on a collapsing orbital ring above a ruined Earth. Players control elite fighters called Volts and enter anomaly-filled sectors in extraction-style runs. A single energy resource powers weapons, abilities, scanning, machinery, and life support, forcing careful decisions during combat and movement. Loot from each run returns to a persistent base for crafting, repairs, suit upgrades, and expanded operations.
Traded for salvage and fragments of volatile energy.
My suit energy's almost out. I don't know if we can make it home.
That energy powers each run, but it was never ours to control. Nothing here obeys intent. It responds to pressure, presence, resonance.
Another mindfuck place. Shit.
Some anomalies only react. Others are waiting for company. Survival isn't winning. Survival is leaving on time.
Are we still on the ring?
Tides of Annihilation is a fantasy action-adventure inspired by Arthurian legend set in a ruined modern London after an invasion from another realm. Players control Gwendolyn, the city's last survivor, and fight otherworldly enemies while searching for a way to save her family and restore reality. Combat uses spectral knights based on Arthurian heroes, each with unique abilities that can be combined for cooperative attacks. The game also features large battles against towering knights across the city.
Destroyed the Whitelands!
That destruction is in fact salvation!
You're insane!
You know not of what you speak. Accept your defeat!
Beware!
Labyrinth! She's created another folded realm. I can't reach her!
We cannot cross two folded realms, but this spear can! Take the spear.
She's human again!
It seems you do have the capacity to surprise us! Not enough! Change! Rectus! Even with your new ally, we end this here!
Enemy of my enemy, I lend you my strength.
We fight as one.
Tyranno 9! escape justice!
Justice. There is only the king's will.
Go to hell!
Foolish night and your foolish fun. Faced with the agony of truth, you choose the comfort of lies. Loyalty without inquiry is in itself a betrayal. Your loyalty has condemned this man.
Zoopunk is a 3D action RPG that serves as a full-scale prequel to FIST, Forged in Shadow Torch, and portrays events decades earlier during the First Torch War. Players control anthropomorphic fighters such as a rabbit, rhino, and chipmunk, each built around fast melee combos, dodges, and aerial attacks. The game supports cooperative PvE play, uses light RPG progression, and describes battles between animal rebels and self-aware machines powered by fire seed energy.
You really fixing to gamble with it?
1 for 5. It's worth a shot.
Ain't you worried something might go wrong?
Wrong? I'm counting on it. It's mine now. Finish him. Give it back! Walked right in himself, huh? It's all yours now, boss.
Good work. Now with this, even the Machine Legion doesn't stand a chance against me.
What? Huh? Come to Papa!
Right on time! Miss me?
Gotta hand it to you this time, Ray.
If Tron hadn't planned ahead and sent us as backup, you'd be done for.
Mission done? Let me take a look.
All accounted for. What's next?
It's time to save Torch City.
That's 6 now. 6 survivors of Raccoon City, all dead from the same thing.
Resident Evil Requiem is a survival horror game that follows FBI analyst Grace Ashcroft and agent Leon S. Kennedy as they investigate a new series of deaths tied to the events around Raccoon City. Players move through infected areas while managing limited resources, solving puzzles, and fighting zombies and other threats. The game allows switching between first and third-person views, and the 2 characters feature different playstyles that connect through the main story.
You okay? What does Victor want with you?
What do you mean?
He grabbed you for a reason. Did you find anything on Opus?
Not yet. Nothing on the servers at the CIA or the Pentagon.
You are an ignorant fool.
Leon, we're running out of time.
Why me?
The team has settled on a person of interest. A former T-virus researcher.
Because my master made you who you are.
Raccoon City was where it all began for me.
I'm coming with you.
We can talk. What do you want to know?
I don't want any more regrets. Whatever it takes, count me in.
Hi, I'm Mike Booth from Bad Robot Games, and game director of 4Loop. As a game designer, a core goal...
4Loop is a tactical 4-player co-op shooter where a small team fights an alien invasion that has turned most of humanity into glass. Missions take place across procedural areas, with a probability map letting players choose paths, objectives, and rewards. The game uses a loop system where defeated characters are reprinted at base with penalties, while a full team wipe ends the run. Players rely on weapons, items, and abilities to manage risks and improve future attempts.
Plot your best path forward to defeat the invaders. Each node represents a different mission with its own risks, rewards, and surprises. Everyone votes to choose the next mission. Once you've chosen a node on the probability map, your team will teleport into the mission. You may have to collect mission-critical resources, or even rescue survivors that can offer cool upgrades for your gear, all while trying to avoid the alien forces constantly sending drop pods and kill bots to stop you. We've worked hard to ensure that there are tons of items to choose from, and a lot of strange creatures and mysterious things to encounter. For example, this weird alien plant is called a blink root, where you can collect a blink berry, which will teleport anyone who touches it to a random, distant location. All the various enemies, weapons, items, and mission objectives are all designed to interact with each other in dynamic ways that create emergent gameplay and endless, replayable chaos. That means your decisions really matter, and creativity and improvisation are key. We really want players to try things and think outside the box, like hacking an alien terminal to provide intel to the rest of the team, or being bombarded by killbot drop pods, or barely escaping with your life. And if you do die, don't worry. So long as one of you makes it back to home base, you'll be reprinted and ready to try again. The home base is a place for your team to readjust their strategy, evolve your loadout, and choose rewards from an increasing array of powerful gear and upgrades. Each act of the probability map culminates in one of multiple boss battles. This is the scanner boss, a huge geologic surveyor that scans for flux deposits to harvest. Its scan fields are very lethal, creating a dynamic obstacle course of lasers to avoid while attempting to destroy the boss itself. Because the scanner's body rotates like a 3D puzzle, you want to spread out and attack it from all sides. All, of course, while avoiding the slow-moving, lethal laser grids. Our goal here is to create something new, where every run has you yelling and laughing and saying, "I can't believe that just happened." We're currently in pre-beta, so there's still plenty of polish to come, and we need players like you to join us in upcoming playtests. Your feedback will be invaluable in helping us make this game truly great. We can't wait for you to play it for yourselves. Now, go and fail to save the world.
Ill is a first-person action survival horror game set inside a large research fort overtaken by a mysterious entity and the creatures it creates. Players move through dark corridors, fight unpredictable enemies, solve physics-based puzzles, and manage limited resources. Combat includes a detailed dismemberment system where monsters react to damage in realistic ways. Weapons have weight and mechanical properties, requiring maintenance, upgrades, and careful inventory management to stay alive. State of Decay 3 is an open-world survival game set years after a zombie outbreak, where players build and manage a community of survivors in a hostile landscape. Players gather resources, reclaim territory, and develop a base while dealing with an evolving blood plague threat. Each survivor has unique abilities, and permanent death means losing that character for good. The game also supports up to 4-player online co-op, allowing teams to build and maintain a shared settlement together. Projekt Z Beyond Order is a first-person zombie shooter set around World War II, where players take on missions as one of 4 survivors with unique abilities and combat roles. The game supports solo play and 4-player co-op, with progression systems tied to character skill trees and weapon upgrades. Players scavenge resources, craft equipment using blueprints, and customize firearms and melee weapons at a home base. Expedition mode allows further exploration of the island, side missions, and additional loot.
the newest co-op zombie shooter launching March 12, 2026.
John Carpenter's Toxic Commando is a cooperative first-person shooter where 4 players fight waves of monsters across semi-open maps. Players choose different characters, share ammo, revive teammates, and rely on coordination to survive heavy enemy pressure. Combat revolves around firearms, explosives, and special abilities, while vehicles with unique functions are used to move and attack across large areas. The game supports solo play and online co-op with missions built around repeated runs and squad-based combat.
Ruby and Astrid, a bunch of criminals hired to clean up this mess, and maybe save humanity while they're at it. You'll blast through multiple missions, each in a semi-open world packed with zombie heads to blow off. Get ready to face hordes of those sludge bastards.
Fuck off over there!
Saber Interactive Swarm technology throws hundreds upon hundreds of real enemies at you simultaneously. We're talking endless waves of zombies running straight at your face. Adapt fast, work with your team, or just grab a machete and charge into the horde like the maniac you are. In Toxic Commando, every mission starts with a badass vehicle, and you'll need it to navigate these infected hellscapes. Each has its perks. Stuck in blood and guts-filled mud with more zombies closing in? Jack a ride with a winch to pull yourselves free, and crack open locked containers loaded with ammo, weapons, spare parts, and fuel. Teams bleeding out? An ambulance is your savior and heals everyone. Check your map for available rides and switch whenever you find something better. We've got all the toys you'll need to blast these monsters back to hell. Pick your primary from 16 weapon types. Shotguns, SMGs, sniper rifles, you name it.
Reloading.
Secondary weapons like pistols back you up when you're running dry. When you're looking for brutal, bloody takedowns, melee weapons are your friends. Machetes, crowbars, all kinds of good shit.
Now this is action!
The really devastating gear like heavy machine guns and grenade launchers are hidden in missions. Explore and exchange spare parts to unlock them.
Finders takers.
That's what we need.
Choose a kick-ass ability for even more blood and explosions. Dominate in your own style by choosing among 4 unique classes. Strike for aggressive mayhem. Medic to keep everyone breathing. Operator for drone warfare and tech.
Getting my drone loose.
Or Defender to be an unstoppable wall.
Fences activated.
Stack your squad however you want. Run 4 strikes if that's your vibe. This game is built from the ground up for 4-player chaos. Use matchmaking or grab your friends in a private lobby. With crossplay, anyone can join from any platform. One last piece of advice, if you want to play Lone Wolf, you'll get swarmed fast. So rally your team, gear the hell up, and get ready for non-stop co-op zombie destruction.
Blackfrost: The Long Dark 2 is an open-world survival game set a year after a global event disables technology, leaving survivors to endure a frozen northern region. Players search for food, shelter, and supplies across cities, forests, and rural areas while facing harsh weather, wildlife, and other threats. The game supports solo play or online co-op with customizable survivors, skill systems, and a psychological will-to-live mechanic that affects resilience. New hazards include extreme storms, urban dangers, and radioactive Blackfrost zones. Horizon Steel Frontiers is a shared-world MMORPG set in a desert region called the Deadlands, where players create custom hunters and work together to defeat large machines. Combat centers on co-op hunts that target weak points, with a mix of melee weapons, bows, traps, and defensive abilities. Broken machine parts can be used as weapons or resources, and some machines can be mounted for travel. The game includes social towns, dungeon-like cauldrons, and large-scale cooperative battles across persistent areas. Nobody's Left is a third-person shooter set in a post-war city where civilians struggle to survive and protect their families. Players move through dangerous streets, face hostile enemies, and use both gunplay and close combat to stay alive. Some missions require stealth, as certain enemies track the player and attack from hiding. The game also includes cultural story elements found through mission secrets, while shooting mechanics rely on manual aiming without assistance.
You can't get too far. Be careful.
At night. I lost touch with humanity and became the only god of this wreck. Grandpa, I can see why you were so cruel to me. Because this world has no mercy. All of this forest is watered by blood drops, so I'm trying to give it more of that.
Plan 8 is an open-world MMO shooter where players use customizable exosuits in a sci-fi setting built around team-based combat. The suits provide enhanced movements such as high jumps and climbing, along with special abilities and gear options. Players can modify exosuits and weapons with different parts, including scavenged items used as shields or equipment. The game combines large-scale online play with shooter mechanics, focusing on cooperative missions and loadout customization. placed as a 2.5D action platformer set in an alternate 1980s America after a nuclear catastrophe where players control Reach, an AI trapped inside a human body. The game combines side-scrolling movement with cinematic exploration and fast combat. Players run, climb, and fight through industrial zones and neon-lit streets using a mix of melee attacks and ranged weapons. The story follows Reach as it uncovers the secrets of Phoenix Corporation and its own origin. The Sinking City 2 is a third-person survival horror game set in a flooded version of 1920s Arkham, where players move through submerged streets and ruined buildings while facing Lovecraft-inspired creatures. Combat uses firearms and limited resources, requiring careful inventory management and planning. Players also solve optional puzzles and investigate side cases by gathering clues from the environment. Progression involves backtracking to new areas as paths open, while encounters with cultists and monsters become more dangerous. Beautiful Light is a tactical first-person extraction shooter where 6 squads of 3 operators enter a hostile area to secure an artifact and escape alive. Matches include both rival players and player-controlled anomalies that hunt the squads. Each raid requires careful movement, inventory management, and coordination, since death means losing all carried gear. Progression comes from completing contracts, extracting artifacts, and upgrading skills, weapons, and equipment through traders and a character skill tree. CrisisX is an open-world multiplayer survival game set in a post-apocalyptic landscape where thousands of players share a large map. Players gather resources, hunt animals, fight infected enemies, and deal with hunger, disease, and harsh weather. Combat includes melee weapons, firearms, and heavy equipment, with both cooperative and player-versus-player encounters. Players can build homes, vehicles, and defenses, claim territory, and form groups to control resources and protect their settlements.
To wilderness, to horizons, lost, maybe the way clears when we walk together. Collaborate. fight. Side by side. Get everything back on track. Allied. United. But people stay the same. We clash. We claim. We raid. Become the real crisis. And this time, what's your way out?
Cinder City is a third-person tactical shooter MMO set in a sci-fi version of Seoul after a catastrophic timeline event. Players take the role of enhanced knights and fight enemies such as zombies, mechs, and other threats across large shared zones. Combat focuses on squad tactics, cover use, vertical positioning, and character abilities, rather than simple run-and-gun shooting. The game includes cooperative missions, instance dungeons for small groups, and large world boss encounters across persistent areas. Active Matter is a multiplayer extraction shooter set in a fractured multiverse where operatives enter unstable zones to collect a resource that bends space and time. Players go solo or in squads, fight rivals and mutated creatures, gather loot, and extract before the zone collapses. Combat uses realistic weapons and gear, while anomalies can alter gravity and terrain. Progression involves upgrading a syndicate base, improving equipment, and competing with other groups for control of active matter sources.
Из сетки календаря выхвачен день. Красное солнце сгорает дотла, день догорает с ним. На пылающий город падает тень. Перемен требуют наши сердца. Глаза. В нашем смехе и в наших слезах, и в пульсации перемен. Мы ждем перемен.
As One We Survive is a top-down survival game set in a post-apocalyptic America, where a father searches for help for his sick daughter while building a community. Players scavenge for food, water, and medicine, craft tools, and manage a base with facilities that produce resources. Combat relies on bandages, rest, and weapon maintenance instead of instant healing. The game includes story and survival modes, along with skill progression and NPC companions who assist on supply runs. War Mechanic is an open-world action-adventure where players control mercenary Jack Wallace on the island of Nordhook, tasked with restoring an abandoned military base. Players explore different regions, fight enemy units, and scavenge materials to craft tools, weapons, and upgrades. Base management revolves around an energy system that powers workshops, defenses, and construction. Contracts provide income, while vehicles, modified weapons, and resource planning are used to handle missions and boss encounters across the island.
You know, by God, I actually pity those poor bastards we're going up against. We're gonna cut out their living guts and use them to grease the treads of our tanks. All right now, you sons of bitches, you know how I feel. I'll be proud to lead you wonderful guys in battle anytime, anywhere.
Crossfire Rainbow is a first-person survival horror shooter set inside a supernatural zone known as the Rainbow Erosion Area. Players search buildings, gather supplies, and fight hostile entities while managing limited resources. The game includes a sanity system that triggers audio and visual hallucinations when stress rises. Crafting plays a key role, allowing players to create items like suppressors and Molotovs. Combat uses firearms such as pistols, shotguns, and rifles, alongside stealth options. Projekt Robot is an action-adventure game set in a desolate landscape where a lone character travels with a large mechanical companion. Players move through ruined environments, solve environmental puzzles, and rely on the companion to overcome obstacles. Gameplay includes climbing large structures, interacting with ancient machines, and navigating hazardous terrain. The story unfolds with minimal dialogue, focusing on the bond between the character and the companion while uncovering the fate of a fallen civilization. Exoborne is an open-world tactical extraction shooter set in a ruined landscape shaped by extreme weather. Players enter large areas to scavenge resources, fight hostile factions and rival players, and extract valuable loot. Combat and movement rely on customizable exo-rigs that grant special abilities and equipment options. Dynamic storms, tornadoes, and other hazards can change conditions during a session, forcing players to adapt their tactics while planning each high-risk extraction run.
On
The War of the Worlds, Siberia is an action-adventure set in an alternate 1896 during a Martian invasion of the Russian Empire. Players control a young student fleeing across dangerous regions while avoiding towering tripod machines and hostile survivors. Gameplay includes stealth, exploration, puzzle solving, and combat using period weapons like revolvers, rifles, and explosives. The story follows the character's attempt to escape the chaos, find allies, and survive in remote wilderness areas.
Всем она нужна? Смотрите, они грабят аптеку. Это не наше дело.
Дядь, купи кирпич.
Я убил его.
Вниз!
Стой, тварь! Это же предательство! Оно самое, юноша. Оно самое.
Laboratory, on behalf of the government, assures that none of the bacteriological attacks will harm.
Rooted is an open-world survival game set in a post-apocalyptic future where nature has reclaimed parts of a ruined civilization after a biological war. Players explore forests, villages, and cities to salvage materials, craft tools, and build camps or outposts. The game supports solo play or online co-op with systems for base building, electricity, automation, and defenses. Wildlife, hostile humans, and contaminated urban zones create constant threats while players gather resources and expand their settlements.
It is crucial to have your ID card with you at all times in case of control. For safety reasons, the Army has deployed autonomous civilian security robots. They are here to protect you.
Lots of people lost things in the blackout.
Blade Runner 2033 Labyrinth is a narrative adventure set in dystopian Los Angeles after the blackout, taking place between the events of Blade Runner and Blade Runner 2049. Players move through the city while uncovering a story connected to the world of replicants, corporations, and hidden agendas. The game focuses on investigation, dialogue, and environmental storytelling rather than combat, with progression driven by clues, character interactions, and choices made during the narrative.
Picking through the pieces. Being someone else. In places that no longer exist. That's where you'll find me. Searching. In the land of the dead.
Gears of War E-Day is a third-person action shooter that tells the origin of the Locust invasion through the perspective of Marcus Fenix and Dom Santiago. Players fight through devastated cities as the Locust horde emerges from underground and attacks human settlements. Gameplay centers on cover-based shooting, close-range weapons, and squad combat against large enemy forces. Missions follow the early days of the conflict, showing how the characters respond to the first attacks.